So, should Tua time be shut down permanently? Will the injuries to the Niners players keep them from being in the NFC playoffs again? And how in the world could a great defense that dominated Cleveland get dominated by the Saints? We're going to see if we can find the answers to those questions and many more as we recap week 2 and get you all prepared for week 3. We're going to do that right here on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right about now. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Football Fever. It is Tuesday night, September 17th, 2024. Whenever, however, and wherever you're watching, thanks for making us part of your week. Of course, my name is Tim McClelland, your favorite armchair football fan right here. Joining us as we just finished the intro here, joining us once again, walking the streets of the Empire State. One only John, the host of Look on Sports.
Hello, guys. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, all right.
We're doing okay here. And of course, the guy down below us here is our league commissioner, Mr. John Flynn. How are you, sir?
Doing all
I
right.
am good.
I said John Natale. See, that's the thing when you have two guys with the same first name.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I
Here we
award
go.
you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
you just had to do that. You just had to do that, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I remember. A few weeks ago, it was me as the podcaster.
Yeah, I definitely remember that here. Well, anyway, wow, what a very, very, very interesting week 2 of NFL action that we had right here.
Yeah.
Teams go 1-1, teams going 0-2. Meanwhile, teams going 2-0. So, what I am going to do, I guess for now, I will have to do it on my side of the screen here. Is go put this screen up here, and we're going to recap the action from week 2 in the NFL. Hopefully, y'all will be able to see it as it comes on the screen here. There we go. All right, starting with last Thursday's game. Oh, here we go. All right, I got it now. Buffalo went into Miami and really did a job on those Dolphins by a score of 31-10. Tua time got 145 passing yards. Devon Achan got 96 yards as well as 69 receiving yards. But the biggest story is not really the dominance of the Bills over the Dolphins, but once again, Tua Tagovailoa has suffered once again a concussion. So, looking back on this game, Flynn, what was your biggest takeaways?
I mean, number one, the Dolphins season's dead on arrival, and number two, I think we need to have an uncomfortable conversation about Tua Tagovailoa and for his own sake and for his own life because that's the third concussion that Tua Tagovailoa has suffered in the last in the last 2 years, and just seemingly and the way he was said and it just happened to be Devon to beat DeMar Hamlin that made the tackle that had the concussion. So I think that, and now he's on the injured reserve. He's out. He's going to be out at least 4 to 6 weeks. And now Skylar Thompson is going to be the quarterback. But I think that's number one. Number two, before the injury, I mean, so I thought Tua was atrocious, but while he was playing, he threw 3 interceptions. He threw a couple of really easy interceptions, unable to see the safety. The pattern recognition was not there, and the Bills defense just suffocated him. One of those interceptions, the one he threw in the second half, was returned for a touchdown, and the rest is history. But from a fantasy perspective, Josh Allen only scored less than 10 points because he didn't have to do much. So that's a sting for the Josh Allen fantasy owners, but not as much for the James Cook fantasy owners. And James Cook only had 2 rushing touchdowns last season. He had 2 rushing touchdowns on Thursday night against Miami. So James Cook had a monster performance. Devon Achane had a big performance with 160 all-purpose yards, as you mentioned, and I think a touchdown or 2. So.
Yeah, that was pretty good there. So Buffalo once again takes care of Miami. I guess judging from what our friend Alex said on the Pain and Game Pick'em show, he knew what was going to happen. Of course, he never wants to admit it, but he knew what was going to happen. So, and I guess it did happen. Another thing that happened on the Sunday matchups, the first one I see here, still stinging here. A Cowboys defense that was dominant over the Cleveland Browns in week 1 got totally dissected by the New Orleans Saints, namely Alvin Kamara, who had 4 total touchdowns and 115 rushing yards. And the Saints 44-19 thrashing of the Cowboys.
Yeah. That was brutal.
Yeah.
But I did say before the season that I do see an upside for Alvin Kamara this year compared to last year. So I definitely was an upside there, all right.
Yeah, and I think one of the big fantasy stories from the week in the NFL is that Alvin Kamara is the fantasy MVP through the first 2 weeks of the season. He has 4 total touchdowns, 180 all-purpose yards on Sunday, and Derek Carr was fantastic. He threw a couple of touchdowns, including a beautiful 70-yard bomb to Rashid Shaheed to really set the tempo for that one. But but Tim, in moment, I view that as more Saints win than Cowboys loss. Clint Kubiak, the new offensive coordinator, has taken in and has stripped apart the failed strategies of Pete Carmichael and has turned the Saints into the most cohesive offensive unit in the NFL the first 2 weeks of the season. Every single Derek Carr drive this season has resulted in points.
I think this may be kind of early, but I think I may have to change my pick as to who's going to win the NFC South.
So yeah, I mean, my calculations have changed on the Saints. I mean, I didn't think Clint Kubiak was going to have this much of an impact, but as you'll see in other games, the coaching mattered. It mattered in the Philadelphia game last night. It mattered. It mattered in the Kansas City game. It mattered. It mattered between the Bears and the Texans on Sunday night, and it does matter.
Yes, it does. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay went into Detroit and got themselves a 20-16 win behind 307 passing yards by Jared Goff, 84 rushing yards from Jahmyr Gibbs, and our good receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown with $119 receiving. So Tampa Bay. This was a pretty close game, pretty much all the way. And we got Indianapolis losing to Green Bay 16-10. Anthony Richardson was able to get 204 rushing yards. Josh Jacobs with a $151 on the ground. And Romeo Dobbs with 62 yards through the air. We had the Jets going into Nashville and taking down the Titans 24-17. Will Levis with a respectable 192 passing yards. Tony Pollard, the former Cowboy, was 62 on the ground. Calvin Ridley, 77 through the air there.
Yeah, but I think the big moment of the game was the Will Levis fumble, and Brian Callahan was rightfully ticked off about it because now that's 2 straight weeks of Will Levis making boneheaded decisions at the quarterback position, and it's and I think the quarterback play is really sunk Tennessee the first a couple of weeks, but Brees Hall had a good day. He had a long touchdown run, the one that put the Jets ahead for good in the fourth quarter. So I think so you look at that now. Also, Calvin Ridley had 25 points. He hauled in a couple of touchdowns and had 100 all-purpose yards as well. So he came up big. I know I started Calvin Ridley in my other league, and despite a lot of people telling me to sit Calvin Ridley, but when you're in a situation where you need to get someone needs to have the ball thrown down the field, you look at Calvin Ridley and think about what the Titans wide receiver situation was last year. The damage left behind after the Titans inexplicably traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles.
Yeah, I know they're still kicking themselves for that here. But San Francisco 49ers went into Minnesota, but some key losses there, and good play from the Vikings gave them a 23-17 win. Brock Purdy was able to throw 319 passing yards. Jordan Mason, a buck even on the ground. Justin Jefferson, 133 receiving yards, but some dings and bang up and some injuries and bumps and bruises for the 49ers. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think San Francisco probably might still be okay.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that they had a period where they were without Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, who also got hurt in the game, and he's going to be week to week with an issues, and Brock Purdy was just a pedestrian quarterback without McCaffrey and without Deebo Samuel, and those are gigantic deals here when you look at it for the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, two of the great receiving threats over in the NFC West, definitely in the whole NFC itself. Seattle had to go to New England, and they had to use an extra inning in baseball terms, but they had to go to overtime, and Seattle managed to get the 23-20 victory behind, Geno Smith, 327 passing yards, Antonio Gibson with 96 rushing yards, and DK Metcalf with 129 receiving yards in that one. So, so kind of interesting numbers on there. The Commanders at home took a 3-point victory over the New York Giants behind a good passing day for rookie Jaden Daniels with 226 passing yards. Brian Robinson Jr., not bad, 133 rushing yards for the Commanders. And the young receiver for the Giants, Malik Neighbors, did pretty good for his part, 127 receiving yards.
Yeah. But here's the shame of this game because Graham Gano was added to the injury report on Friday with a groin issue, and then but what happens? The Giants didn't put another active kicker onto the active roster, the game day roster, and Graham Gano gets injured on the opening kickoff, and the Giants were without a kicker the whole day, and and when they scored touchdowns, they couldn't put an extra point, convert 2 point conversions, or put an extra point in, and it really doomed them. Um, so on and it's also a shame because I thought Daniel Jones played pretty well. That he didn't make the big mistake. He made some nice throws. And Malik Neighbors was incredible until that 4th and 4 play with 2 minutes left, where he was wide open and he couldn't haul it in. And I think, Natale, watching that game, you knew that Washington was going to go down the field and kick the winning field goal.
Yeah, the Giants always blow it when they're in the lead with less than 2 minutes left. And on top of that, they didn't allow a single touchdown. They still lost.
Yeah, that was so frustrating. Look, I'm as big a Shane Davis apologist as there is, but that loss yesterday on week 2 was on them.
Mm-hmm.
Had a terrible job not being prepared in terms of the roster management, in terms of the in game management. The play calling was excellent. There is no question about that, and that's
right.
And that's how Brian Daboll became infatuated as a head coaching candidate in 2020, 2021. But you have to do more, take on more responsibility as a head coach, and
yep.
they just couldn't do that. But a flip side, Brian Robinson was excellent for Washington. The Giants had no answers for him throughout the entire game, and because of what he was able to do, the Giants couldn't get off the field on 3rd downs.
Wow. Very brutal with the Giants there. Daniel Barry, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you watching us again. Keep spreading the word for us.
And also, one thing I did mention about the Giants what was how they were going to utilize their tight ends. So Daniel Bellinger who had only 7 snaps week 1. He only had 4 snaps week 2, and Theo Johnson took the vast majority of the snaps at the tight end position for the Giants. So it sounds like Theo Johnson is going to be someone who you're going to want to consider, but I think it's too early at the moment because wait till tight ends start going on bye weeks. To start in week 5 before you consider him as in a streamer situation. So
right.
Well, the Carolina Panthers were basically non-existent this past Sunday. They got crushed by the Chargers 26-3. Justin Herbert threw for 130 yards. J.K. Dobbins rushed for $131. And Quentin Johnson got himself 51 yards receiving in that one. So that was basically the blowout of the week.
Oh, yeah. It's 2 weeks in a row, J.K. Dobbins has looked really, really, really good. And when we did the division previews, it was the episode the 2 of you did, because that was when I was on vacation. But the big question was, who is going to emerge as the primary running back for the Chargers? J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards, because both were signed from Baltimore, both were part of Greg Roman's offense, and now J.K. Dobbins, who's regained his status as a legit RB1.
Yeah, very good for him. So y'all got J.K. Dobbins on your fantasy leagues. You might want to hold on to him. But don't quite overlook Gus Edwards either. But.
They have a tough matchup coming up against Pittsburgh on Sunday, and their rush defense. So
Right. So you kind of want to make some adjustments there. Cleveland, they got into the win column for the first time. They went to Jacksonville and defeated them 18-13. Not much as far as the scoring. Trevor Lawrence did manage to throw for 220 yards. Jerome Ford for the Browns had 64 rushing yards, and Brian Thomas Jr. got 94 yards receiving on that one. This one right here, this next one kind of shocked me a little bit. Las Vegas heading into Baltimore, and they upended the Ravens 26-23 behind Gardner Minshew, who, of course, one of Alex's favorite quarterbacks, 276 yards there. Derrick Henry got himself 84 rushing yards, and Devontae Adams got himself $110 to help the Raiders get the victory over the Ravens.
Yeah, I also included Brock Bowers had 9 catches for 98 yards. So close. So he had 18.8 points in PPR settings. So that was very encouraging.
Leaving him on my bench cost me.
Yeah. I mean we'll get into the thing that stunned you in fantasy in a little bit, but yeah, that did not help.
But I'm starting him now. I need to take a wait and see approach with him first, see how he's going to be used.
Yeah, I mean they have the gift of the Panthers on Sunday, so
yeah, so that's why I'm starting him. I can't start Pitts. They're facing the Chiefs.
I mean, it's why Mike Gesicki had a monster game for the Bengals. The tight end, he hadn't been a viable tight end option for 2 years. Yeah, he went off on the Bengals. So just because Kyle Pitts is facing the Chiefs doesn't mean you automatically sit him.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, here's another big blowout. The Arizona Cardinals just upended the Los Angeles Rams by a score of 41-10. Kyler Murray did very well throwing for 266 yards. James Conner did very well on the ground with 122 rushing yards. And the rookie Marvin Harrison Jr. had 130 receiving yards. Slight scare in the game when Harrison went out with a slight injury, but I don't think I haven't heard anything about Harrison, but I think he's not going to miss any time.
No. So, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. was amazing in that game. So two touchdowns too, all in the first half. Four catches, 130 yards, a 23-yard touchdown, and a 60-yard touchdown, both in the first quarter, to put the Cardinals up 14-0, and they never looked back. And again, told you Marvin Harrison Jr. was going to have a monster. Was going to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think both Flynn and I put him as offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, another kind of a low-scoring game here. Pittsburgh went to Denver and defeated the Broncos 13-6. Bo Nix for Denver did throw for 246 yards. Najee Harris ranged for 69 yards. Josh Reynolds had 93 receiving yards right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bo Nix's interview was hilarious. Yeah, I think the reporter's like, walk me through what happened on an interception. I threw it to the other team. He was just very generic.
So you threw it to the other team.
Yeah.
So I mean, it sounded like a Chuck Downfield explanation from the backyard football mini games.
Mm-hmm.
That's too funny right there. At the very last second, the Kansas City Chiefs took down the Cincinnati Bengals 26-25. These teams always play so well when they get together. Joe Burrow was the leading passer with 258 rushing yards. Isiah Pacheco, before he got onto the IR, rushed for 90 yards. And the aforementioned Mike Gesicki with 91 yards receiving. But the injury to Pacheco, I will be talking about that here pretty soon.
Yeah, and he's in my big money league, and I was not happy when he went down.
Yeah.
But also, so watching that play, you agree with me that that was the right call on pass interference on that play?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I saw it too, and it was just, man, when I saw that pass interference, I knew right there that the Bengals just gave the Chiefs the victory right there.
Yeah. No. So by the way, Chiefs win. Bengals plus 5.5 was one of the easiest bets of the week.
Definitely. The Sunday nighter, the Houston Texans beat the Chicago Bears 19-13. CJ Stroud, another great day, 260 yards through the air. Caleb Williams had 44 rushing yards. And Nico Collins, 135 yards receiving. So Houston is still doing pretty good there. And Caleb Williams, he's got a okay team behind him, but I'm sure they'll probably try to pull together, I guess.
Okay team around him. Did you see how atrocious their offensive line looked? I mean, so the Texans defense registered 7 sacks and forced 2 interceptions in the second half. So the Bears' offensive line is a total mess right now. But I think you give Caleb Williams credit for his improvising skills and making the Texans earn all those sacks. But
yeah, okay. Well, so it was definitely less than okay. It was just pathetic, absolutely pathetic. But nice here. The Monday night result kind of took a little bit of the sting out of the Cowboys' loss to the Saints. The Falcons beat the Eagles 22-21 in Philly. Kirk Cousins with a nice 241 passing yards through the air. Bijan Robinson had 97 rushing yards, and Darnell Mooney 88 receiving yards. So as Kirk Cousins once said, you like that?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, you look at the you look at the dumb in-game decisions Nick Sirianni made throughout the game, like going for it on 4th and 4, on the opening drive, where you had 3 easy points, and then the play, then going for it with a terrible play design. That was coaching malpractice, and then. But then the big moment of the game was the 3rd and 3, with the Eagles driving a first down, gives them the win. Falcons were out of timeouts, under 2 minutes left, and Jalen Hurts threw the ball, and Saquon Barkley dropped it.
Saquon Barkley dropped a sure thing.
Yeah, and Saquon, in the last 4 years, Saquon Barkley leads the all NFL running backs in dropped passes with 16.
Not very good on his part right there. But that was the NFL for a week 2 right there.
Yeah, and also what a tremendous final drive by the Falcons, and Drake London had a monster day as well.
Drake London might be one of those guys that you might want to consider picking up if you don't quite have him.
But I mean, I got Drake London fell in my lap in the toward the end of the 3rd round. Yeah, in our league, I have no idea how you guys let me have him.
Well, I wanted the rookie Marvin Harrison, so
yeah. I wanted him too, because it was between those two when you were on the clock on draft night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All righty. Well, I say we just go. Let's go right into the hot topics, and of course, the biggest topic of them all, as we mentioned earlier, Tua Tagovailoa, another concussion. And people are saying that he should just go ahead and retire. Think about his long-term health. I'm kind of agreeing on that. He is a talented young quarterback. He's made his mistakes in the games, but these concussions, when they add up, they can become very, very serious. So this is just my honest opinion. I think he should just go ahead and hang up the cleats once and for all. I don't know how many more of those kind of hits he'll be able to take before it starts to really become basically life threatening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think we heard Flynn's discussion on that, but it's too many hits. We've heard so many stories about these guys with all these concussions and suffering from what they call was it CTE is what they call it.
Yes, it is.
Really, really like brain trauma. Too many hits to the head. It has affected a lot of players in the past, and it is just absolutely terrible. But I just wish Tua all the best in whatever he does. But really, Tua, I think it just needs to shut down. They say placed on the IR. He'll miss the next 4 games, but I wouldn't bring him back. Sorry. The 49ers have some injury problems right there. Christian McCaffrey, the running back, has been placed on the IR, and their wide receiver Deebo Samuel will be out about a couple of weeks with the calf sprain. So 2 great weapons there, sidelined for a little while.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at the other injuries, the wide receiver. Ricky Pearsall is still on the injured reserve because
Right.
he was nearly shot to death a couple of weeks ago, which is a big topic a couple of weeks ago, and he's still out. So the Niners have some issues right now, but I think a team that has more issues, Timmy, is the team they're playing this week, in the LA Rams, who on top of losing Buka Nakua last week, they lost Cooper Kupp on a week to week injury. So no Nakua, no Kupp for Stafford, and the Rams are 0-2, and they're about to face the defending NFC champions on Sunday.
Jeez. Yeah, Andrew's having rotten luck. He already has 2 guys on injured reserve. Andrew had both Pacheco and Kupp.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he can't catch a break.
Yeah,
it's just terrible here, man. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua, 2 young great receivers for that Rams team, both sidelined with injuries. Oh boy, I think it's going to be a long season for these guys.
If they don't come back quickly, and we all picked the Rams preseason to make the playoffs, and now now they're dealt with this.
Yeah, I put them barely in the playoffs. I had them at number 7.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, Chiefs running back Isiah Pacheco has been put on the IR. He's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks, but the Chiefs did quietly get a running back replacement for him, a guy who did play for the Chiefs just a few years ago before playing with the Browns for a couple of years, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, but as of right now, he's on the practice squad. He's not eligible to be activated until week 5. So it's a running back by committee approach for now.
Yeah, so I think I think they're looking at Samaje Perine the rookie Carson Steele, and the fans of Kansas City seem to really like Carson Steele because I think they were impressed with him during training camp and during the preseason. So in my other league, I put Pacheco on my IR and put a waiver claim in for Carson Steele.
That's right. I didn't even think about that. But looks like Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase. He's not going to be negotiating on a new contract this season. So what's going on with Mike Brown and those guys?
I mean, why? I mean, I'm pro Jamar Chase on this. I'm siding with him. Like, how did the Bengals not not know that they needed to get a contract extension done and take care of their own players? That you've seen other teams do that with their own players that played on a high level during the rookie contract. So why are the Bengals this clueless? And by the way, the Bengals are 0-2.
Yep. And keep in mind, this is the same team and the same owner who kept, in my opinion, kept Marvin Lewis about 4 years too long. About 4 years too long. Then Marvin Harris, or Marvin Lewis, they kept him too long, in my opinion. So yeah, there is another owner out there that's probably about as delusional as Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Now, looks like the Carolina Panthers have decided to bench Bryce Young for the upcoming game.
Yeah, that's definitely, and like I think that took everything by surprise. But remember, if you go back to the draft process, that Frank Reich and Scott Fitterer wanted C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young, and David Tepper, the meddlesome, clueless, horrendous owner, forced Bryce Young, who doesn't have the size right now to be an NFL quarterback, and the Panthers were dreadful last year. Oh, by the way, they did not have the number 1 overall pick last year, but despite the 2-15 record, which would have netted them Caleb Williams, and the rest is history. And I got to tell you guys that I've been watching football for I don't know, like 15. I made more intensely on the from an all 32 teams perspective, and for like 10-15 years now since I entered my first football pool like 13 years ago. I have never seen a franchise in a worse state of affairs than what the Carolina Panthers are in right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just feel bad for the guy, you know.
I mean, maybe the Browns a couple when they went 0-16, but they had Myles Garrett who was unbelievable. But I mean, this Panthers team might go 0-17, and I'm not going to be exaggerated about that.
Yeah, they could go like the Detroit Lions did back in, what was it, 06?
But the thing is, so in a way, the Lions went 0-16. The Panthers might go 0-17, which will make them the worst team in football in NFL history.
Yeah, because there wasn't that many games back then. So I'd say I tend to agree with you, Flynn. I think I'd be riding on that. I mean, if I could place a bet on that one, yeah, I'll put it in there. 0-17, I would.
Yeah.
So looks like so we got McCaffrey, Samuel, Chase. I talked about 2. We got Bryce Young, it's Pacheco, Cooper Kupp. Anything else?
I'm going to the NFL.com website just to make sure. Let's Well, the only other thing I see on here is that it says Indy defense takes hit. Coles plates 3-time Pro Bowler Buckner ankle on IR.
Yeah, DeForest Buckner in 2012, they got him in a trade with the 49ers in 2020.
Yeah, and it still appears that they're going to continue to start Justin Fields.
As they should, because Justin Fields gives the Steelers the best chance to win.
Yeah,
Right.
and yeah, that's all I see.
Well, I can see one thing. I can see the window closing a little bit more on Russell Wilson's career.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess that's all the hot topics here. But I do have one topic. Well, it's not really a topic. It's actually a birthday. It's actually a birthday wish.
Ooh, okay.
Happy 39th birthday. No, he's 29 today. Happy 29th birthday to Kansas City Chiefs quarterback and native East Texan Patrick Mahomes.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so happy birthday to the number 15 in your playbook and number 1 in your heart. So happy birthday, many happy returns. Congratulations to I think they said they just had a child or they're expecting another one, but he's becoming a good family man. So happy birthday to Patrick right there. And I guess with that being said, we are going to take a look back. We just took a look at week 2 of the NFL. It is time to take a look back at week 2 of our fantasy league. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that screen here. There we go. And right here, starting with my matchup against Adam, I needed Joe Mixon to be my hero, and he was before he got hurt. But Joe Mixon helped me get over the hump and give me the victory over Adam, 111.94 to 110.74.
I mean, barely he beat you. Yeah, you beat him.
Just barely by the hair of my chinny chin chin. J.K. Dobbins did well for me, as did Zay Flowers and that Georgia's defensive special teams. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Derrick Henry were the 3 points leaders for Adam in that matchup. Then we go down. Wait a minute. Let me see this here. I want to see the box scores here. I want to see if there's any special. See what other matchups there was here. This thing is just so slow. I think it's because I got maybe too many screens going at one time because I'm kind of making plans on something here, especially for Halloween. But all right, come on now. Come on. I don't know what is wrong with this thing, but this thing will not cooperate. I don't know if it's my connection or whatever it is, but
Okay. I might be able to put it up. I'm going to try.
Yeah, but this seems like more and more and more. This is just something I can't work with, you know.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them.
Yeah,
cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Yeah, I think Michael Pittman Jr. only gave Adam 6.1 points. The Cowboys defense only gave him 4 points. I mean, they're giving up the 44 points. I mean, it had something to do with that, and meanwhile, I think Sam Laporta only gave you 3.3 points.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed in Sam out there.
All right, I think I went. I got the box scores up here. I could help. We'll go back to yours first. Let's see. We'll try to. I'm using my phone. I'll film it my computer the best I could. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, as we said, you won 111.94 to 110.74. Let's see. Yeah, on Tim's side, it looks like a lot of your guys performed above projections. Let's see. Well, Zay Flowers was under, and J.K. Dobbins a little bit, but you got the win despite that. Let's see. Let's go to your bench and see. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers got a little bit lower than your starter. It looks like you made all the right moves here.
All right.
Yeah, you ran that one mistake-free, essentially.
Yeah, well, kind of lucky,
let's see if there was a difference. Let's see if Adam starting anybody else would have made a difference. It doesn't appear to be. No, Adam used the max amount, so it wouldn't have mattered. Well, actually, no, wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Oh, no, never mind. Starting Roquan Smith would have made a difference. He only got 0.2 higher than Zaire Franklin. So, both of you made the right moves. It just came down to scored more, and it was you. Barely.
Yeah, so once again, thank you, Joe Mixon.
Let's see.
And waiting until after he got Tim to beat Adam to go down.
We'll go to David and Dino next.
I'll be right back, guys.
Yeah.
All right, no worries.
Yeah, and the thing is, how about David starting 2-0?
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Let's see what he got here. He got some numbers from Sam was 1 point over his projection. He was projected to get 18 points. He got 19.3. Let's see here. Yeah. Devon Achane was projected to score 16 points. He got 11 more points out of that, 27. Yeah, James Cook had 26 fantasy points.
Yeah.
That's good. But let's see what Dino did here. Yeah, a lot of his guys underperformed. Let's see. I think just about everybody. Let me see. Under. Yeah, only, barely. Let's see. The Ravens was barely above the projection, but if we want to go by players who produce a lot of points here, the only player that went above their projection for Dino's side was Tony Pollard. Everybody else was significantly under.
Yeah.
So going to the bench wouldn't have made a difference because Dino's highest projected bench player had 13.8 in Jerome Ford. So it wouldn't have made a difference there. I guess we'll go to yours next while we're waiting for Tim.
Yeah,
yours was a complete massacre.
I mean, 2 weeks in a row, I scored the most points in the league, and it helped that I had Kamara. It helped that I had Drake London. It helped that I had Kyler Murray. I mean, told you Kyler Murray was going to be a top 6 quarterback in fantasy this year.
Yep. Yeah, the only mishap wouldn't have mattered though was Jamar Chase. He was projected to have 18. He only got 7.5.
Yeah, but I mean, all I needed was and also I got 17 more points out of Brandon Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's been tremendous.
Yeah, and your best performing bench player was Ramondre Stevenson. He had 17 points for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I had Saquon Barkley, I had Alvin Kamara, so so I really couldn't go wrong at the running back position this week.
Yeah, things were going okay for Andrew until he ran into some rotten luck. But now he's lost Pacheco and Cooper Kupp. And he had to pick up a tight end on the waiver wire who didn't do anything. Colby Parkinson only had 1 catch.
Yeah.
But none of the tight ends were on the waiver wire did much of anything except for Hunter Henry.
Yeah. And I mean, you talked about Colby Parkinson on last week's show.
Yeah, that turned out to be a bad decision. But now it's looking okay. Now that decision might not be so bad now that they lost 2 guys.
Yeah, and now you can look at DeMarcus Robinson as someone to take a look at.
All right, we got 2 more matchups to look at. We'll go to Lucas and Alex. Let's see. A bit of a blow here. Alex blew out Lucas 130.6 to 105.8, and the defending champ is now 0-2 at the bottom of the barrel in the division. But he's had his strain of rotten luck now with quarterbacks. This is the second quarterback Lucas has lost now.
Geez, he's got so he lost Jordan Love and
Jordan
Tua.
Love first, and now Tua. Now he's down to Caleb Williams, unless he makes another move.
So well, Lucas can easily propose a trade with Timmy because Tim has a bunch of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, despite Amon-Ra St. Brown getting 23.9 points for Lucas, it really didn't matter because a lot of Alex's players did exceptionally well. He got 22.7 from Calvin Ridley, and here's probably a big shock. 15 points from his defensive player, Aiden Hutchinson, and 18 points from the Texans defense.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So the special teams basically carried Alex here.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 interceptions.
Yeah. Despite Josh Allen only getting 9.76, his other players did exceptionally well. Travis Etienne really over his projection. He got 14.8, and then Jordan Mason. That was a great pickup for Alex. He was smart there. 17.4.
So, but I mean, everyone picked up Jordan Mason after when they realized Christian McCaffrey was going to be inactive an hour and a half before kickoff last week.
Yeah, and then the final matchup was myself and Casey. And things were going exceptionally well for me until Sunday night happened, where it was a complete massacre performance from Kaimi Fabian. He got 20 fantasy points.
Yeah, is anybody missing from 50+ yards out? Because Kiami Fairbairn kicked 4 field goals, and 3 of them were from 50+.
Yeah. For that, things were looking exceptionally promising for me because he left both Malik Neighbors and DK Metcalf on the bench, who scored 26.7 and 26.9 points respectively.
Oh.
Yeah, and in their places, he started Rashid Rice and Chris Godwin, who both scored lower, but still respectable totals because they got. Let's see. Oh no, sorry, no. Godwin got. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, Godwin got 23.7, so he did well. Godwin, and then Rashid Rice got a respectable 16.5.
Yeah, I mean, Rashid Rice had that beautiful touchdown in the first half of that game from Mahomes to Rashid Rice.
Yeah. And over here, things went okay for me. James Conner did well, 19.4, and I made the right move in picking up Zach Charbonnet, who he's temporary for me until Kenneth Walker is back. Yeah, I was that close to starting. What's his face? I was that close to starting Zach Moss. I'm glad I didn't. So Zach Moss only got 5.7 points.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah. But then I got an exceptional 25 points from Marvin Harrison. And Evan McPherson, respectable at the kicker spot, 16. Steelers defense did fine, 14 points. But the mishap that cost me the game was Brock Bowers on my bench.
Yeah.
18.8.
So, and what was the margin between you and Casey?
Oh, how many points he won by?
Yeah.
5.8. Just under 6.
Wow.
So yeah, so had I started Bowers, I potentially would have won before the Sunday night game even started. But yeah, now I'm definitely starting Bowers this week. All right. So I guess we can look at the playoff picture right now where things stand. Let's see. Oops.
Yeah, it's still kind of early, but kind of
it's up. But let's see who's 2-0 in our league. It's me, David, and who else?
Alex.
Yeah, and then who's 1-1?
I'm trying to find the standings here if I can. Let's see. League. Schedule. Trying to get there. Let's see if I can. It's finicky.
Yeah, so what's it?
Our 1-1s are Andrew's 1-1. I'm 1-1. Casey's 1-1, and Tim is 1-1.
All right.
And then Lucas, Andrew, and Dino are each 0-2.
And yeah, Adam is 0-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we could check up. Is it seems running on your end, or you want me to still continue?
You might have to continue. I'm still having some connection issues with my laptop here, so.
All right, let's see. Got to figure this out here. League. All right, league schedule. Let's see. Let's go to week 3. That's not the area I wanted. Let's see.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get me a better laptop.
Yeah.
This station is Laurel Place.
Let's see. Well, I know it's the Dino is playing Adam. I'm playing Alex. Flynn is playing Casey. Lucas is playing Tim. And Andrew is playing David. I'm trying to access this. It's not what I wanted to do. Let me see. I'm trying to click on the matchups. Wait a minute. Here we go. Let's go play my league. Let's see. Yeah, I'm having trouble figuring out how to view this matchup. Here we go. Okay. I was in the wrong spot. I think I got it now. Let me see here. Here we go. View full scoreboard. All right. There we go. All right.
This is the train to Penn Station. The next station is
Damn ad.
Mineola.
All right. I guess I'll preview my matchup first. Let's see. I'm playing against Alex. Looks like I'm projected to finish with 138.1, while he is projected at 122.6. I don't see the scoring I don't see the player projections here though for some strange reason. But let's see. We'll go to Flynn next, I guess. All right. So yeah, Flynn is playing Casey. Flynn's projected at 143.9 to Casey's 134.6. Yeah, right now all I see is a line for players. I don't see any point projections here, unless I'm in the wrong spot. Let's see. Dino is playing Adam. Ooh, this could be a possible blowout here. Dino's projected at 133.2, while Adam is 115.4.
And he's currently starting Christian Watson, who's only projected at 6.4 points. That's where his number is going down. But I briefly looked at my matchup against Casey. That each of us have someone who's projected to score more than 20 points. I go with me with Kamara and Casey with Breece Hall.
Oh, Breece Hall and Alvin Kamara. That's an awesome matchup.
Breece Hall against the Patriots, Alvin Kamara going up against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And as far as Tim's matchup, it looks like you might have some work to do a little bit because I think he's probably not playing, right? No, I'm not sure if he's playing yet. He's questionable right now, so Tim's projection at 122.4 to Lucas's 132 on the nose. Well, that's pending the Mixon situation. And
and also Tim, while you were away, because Lucas lost both of his quarterbacks, Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa, so maybe you might want to help him out by giving him one of your quarterbacks in exchange for something good.
This station is.
Yeah, probably. Right now, I have a pending waiver claim here. Looks like I may be dropping Adam Thielen, and I may want to start Chuba Hubbard this week.
Hubbard.
Chuba.
And then in the
Hubbard.
Yeah.
So
I think I named my league that when I had Nick Chubb. And then we have one more match.
So I guess this week I probably will not be hooked on a Thielen.
All right, and then and on that note, we have one more matchup still. That's David against Andrew. This is the closest matchup projection we have here: 123.6 to 120.9.
Who is projected right now, leader? And that one, projected, David or Adam?
David. But David's playing Andrew. Oh, so I didn't. But David still has some work to do, though. Yeah, and he's still projected to win.
Yeah, it was that he had two of his guys didn't play. Yeah, he left Puka Nacua in the starting lineup, and he still won by a lot over Dino.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that Andrew's lost some key players, his roster is kind of messy. But it still looks okay. Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson. Jury's out on Zamir White. We'll see. Chris Olave is still solid. Yeah, Courtland Sutton. I wouldn't play him. Colby Parkinson. We'll see. We'll give him another chance. Gus Edwards. I don't like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to make some moves because his bench is very messy. Isiah Pacheco, CJ Stroud. And he still has three quarterbacks on the bench.
All right, now that kind of sounds like a dumpster fire in the making if he doesn't make any serious moves here.
Yeah.
I am torn. I am torn if I should start Brandon Cooks or not, because he's only projected at 8.3, but the Ravens are ranked 28th in fantasy against wide receivers.
I did see something that the Ravens ranked first against in EPA against the run and 30th in EPA against the pass. So, but it's very. I mean, that's probably the reason why the Ravens are 0-2.
Probably, and of course, Dak can air it out. So those Ravens.
Monster day for CeeDee Lamb, monster day for Zeke Elliott coming out of the backfield.
All right. I messed up here. I found what I needed to look for now. I was trying to find who was projected where as far as places. All right. Going back to my matchup and Alex's matchup for a second. I'm projected to win in 8 categories. I have the running back advantage with Kenneth Walker, assuming he plays, over Travis Etienne, 18.9 to 14.6. He has the other running back advantage, Jordan Mason over James Conner, 18.8 to 15. It's me across the board with the receivers. Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson over Mike Evans and Jalen Waddle. Got the tight end advantage. Brock Bowers over Cole Kmet. Probably better off starting David Njoku if he plays. I have the flex advantage. Marvin Harrison over Calvin Ridley. Let's see. And I have the defensive advantage, Steelers over Texans, and I have the kicker advantage, Evan McPherson over Kupp. All right. Now we'll go to Tim's projections and see who's favored where. Let's see. Yeah. Tim has the advantage in 3 categories: one of the running backs, the tight end, and the defense. You win with Brian Robinson versus Rashad White. 13 point. Actually it's even, but they gave you the tiebreaker. You have the tight end advantage, Sam Laporta over Mark Andrews, 11.0 to 10.4. And then you also have the defense advantage, the Jets over the Lions, 10.5 to 8.9.
Yeah, I mean the Jets are going up against the Patriots, while the Lions are going up against the high-powered Cardinals offense.
All right, now we'll preview your matchup and see where your advantages are. Let's see. All right, yeah. So Flynn, you have the quarterback advantage, one of the running backs, one of the wide receivers, the tight end, the flex, the defensive player, and yeah. Let's read this question first before we proceed. Would you trade away Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, and Garrett Wilson to acquire Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and Waddle? Ooh, I think I like that one.
No, I would.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me read that. Would you trade away Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor to acquire? Okay, no, I would pass on that personally.
No, I would say no. I mean, Joe Burrow. Are we talking about Joe Burrow in the concept of being a franchise quarterback? But yeah, he's not as prolific in fantasy because he's primarily a pocket passer, and Anthony Richardson gives you much more value as a runner. So I definitely would say no to that.
Yeah.
Interesting question, Jackson. Thanks for your question there. I'm okay. Now I got a question.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a question. Like I mentioned, Brandon Cooks, he's projected at 8.3, but the Ravens are 28th in the league in stopping receivers. I'm looking at J.K. Dobbins, who I have as my flex player, but he's going up against the Steelers. The Steelers have given up the ninth fewest points against running backs.
So this is about who you're thinking for your flex option.
That's right.
I mean, I couldn't stress enough how much I love J.K. Dobbins in this matchup, especially if he's going to be the running back, the top running back for the Chargers going forward, and playing behind one of the better offensive lines in the league. I mean, I know they're going up against the talented Steelers front four, but you got to take your chances if you're with J.K. Dobbins here.
Interesting. All right, we'll just have to see what happens there. So, speaking of starting and sitting, do we have any central starts? If I had to pick a sit, I would sit. This is just me. This is my opinion. But the Cowboys are going up against a very tough run defense against the Ravens, so I wouldn't even start Zeke Elliott, and I would not start Rico Dowdle for any reason. I think Dak is just going to take it through the air. They may not be doing much rushing. I guess that's my sit right there. So that's all I got right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was working all day, so so I couldn't do much on getting ready for this, but I think a potential sit to look at is Devin Singletary for the New York Giants going up against the Browns. Because, I mean, Devin Singletary did have a solid day on the ground for the Giants. That he ran for nearly 100 yards and averaged a few like 6 yards per carry. But he's going up against the Browns and the Giants' interior offensive line is the weak part of their offensive line, which did play well, but going up against Myles Garrett's a very tough draw. So I would sit Devin Singletary.
All right. Take note of that here.
Yeah, I didn't really come up with anything for this week. But I guess while we wait for Flynn to come, Tim, you want to do some trivia?
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get some trivia questions in here before we go to our week 3 picks here. Let's go ahead and pop that up here. Yes, I understand. Natale does have a question for this week, which coincides.
Yeah, mine's tied into on this day. Yeah, mine's tied into on this day in NFL history.
Oh.
All right, so we'll just go ahead and have Natale ask his question first.
Okay. Well, this is going to go way back. This was from before all of us were even born. But let's see.
Oh.
It says this is. I think this one's gettable though. But let's see. This occurred on September 17th, 1961. The Minnesota Vikings play their very first regular season game in the NFL. Minnesota does it as they cruise to a 37-13 victory over the Chicago Bears. So, this rookie quarterback made his NFL debut on that year, where he tossed a record at the time 4 touchdown passes. Who was the quarterback?
The quarterback for the Vikings, 61. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a tough one. I'll have to think about that one while we're doing our looking over our picks here.
Yeah. While we think about that, let's get to your question then.
All right. My question is this. It has to do with one of last week's games. As we all know, last week, the New Orleans Saints beat the Dallas Cowboys. And in doing so, it snapped the Cowboys' 16-game home win streak. But the question is, what team holds the NFL record for the longest win streak on their home turf?
Ooh, longest win streak on their home turf. Interesting.
Yep, that is something to think about right there.
I mean, there are two possible avenues that can go on this.
Yeah,
but
I have a couple of ideas also. But
all right, now
Are you able to preview the schedule for us? Or I could pivot. I could still continue the projections for the games while we wait.
How far are you from your domicile there, Flynn?
I'm about 15 minutes away.
About 15 minutes away.
Yeah, I didn't get through all the projection check marks yet, so we could still go through that in the meantime.
Right.
I know I left off on Flynn's and Casey's. Right now, Flynn has the quarterback advantage at 18.8 to 17. Casey has one advantage at running back with Breece Hall over Saquon Barkley, 20.8 to 16.7. Flynn has the other running back advantage, 20.4 to 15.7, Alvin Kamara over Jahmyr Gibbs. Flynn also has the wide receiver advantage, one of them, Jamar Chase over DK Metcalf by a pretty significant amount, 17.9 to 13.7. Casey has it on the other side with Godwin over Drake London, 14.5 to 13.5. Flynn wins on tight end, flex, and DP. McBride, Smith, and Edwards versus Dalton Kincaid, Malik Neighbors, and Bobby Okereke. Let's see. KC has the defense and special teams advantage with the Bengals and Kanami Fabian against the 49ers and Brandon Aubrey. That's 10.7 to 9.4 against 8.4 to 8.3, which comes to the final total of 143.9 to 134.6. Let me see. Looking on the bench, let's see if there's anything significant here. Don't see anything on the bench worth noting. Actually, any bench players listed on here for some reason. But no worries, I can move on. Moving on to Dino and Adam. Let's see. Ooh, this could be not looking good for Adam. Adam only has advantage on two. He only has 2 check marks: quarterback and the tight end. Patrick Mahomes over Joe Burrow, but just barely, 20.3 to 19.5. And the tight end, he has George Kittle, 13.6 over 11.9. Dino has the advantage on everything else. Josh Jacobs over Derrick Henry, but not by much, only by 1. Aaron Jones, over Austin Eckler, that's a pretty big margin. 13.7 to 9.9. Another huge advantage.
It doesn't help that Austin Eckler is returning kicks and it's the RB2 for Washington behind Brian Robinson.
Yep. Yeah, and then this player you noted before, Christian Watson, only has a 6.4 favorite to Stephon Diggs' 12.8. And then on the other side, Tony Pollard against Tajay Spears. Tajay Spears is currently listed as questionable. So if he doesn't play, that makes things even worse. Got the advantage on the defensive player, Alex Singleton to Zaire Franklin, 11 to 10.1. Defense is fairly close, 9.3 to 9.6. The Ravens hold that advantage, who Dino also has. And Jake Bates, 0.5 to Justin Tucker's 7.9. Let's see. We already did mine. Wait, did we preview Tim's yet or not yet?
I think we went through mine.
Okay, that means the only one we haven't did get them was Andrews and David's for the breakdown. Let's see. Despite only being favored to win by less than 3 points, Andrew only has 4 check. His check marks are quarterback, 1 of the running backs, 1 of the wide receivers, and defense. He's got Jalen Hurts advantage, 20.2 to 17.6. He's got one of the advantages with Bijan Robinson versus James Cook, 20.3 to 15.9. And then he has Cortland Sutton, 10.6. Well, Biden has one by because it's over Puka Nacua. And has the defense advantage, the Brown 0.3 to 7.9. David's advantages, Devon Achane over Zamir White, 16.6 to 13.3. CeeDee Lamb, 20.6 to Chris Olave's 15.1. Evan Ingram, currently listed as questionable, 11.4 to Colby Parkinson's 8.4. The Devontae Adams, 15.3 to a whopping 6.4. And then Forsay, I'll call him, I'll make it easier to say. Oko, 9.6 to Brim, 6.1. Then finally, the kicker, Jake Moody, 8.6 to 8.3. And then, the current injuries are listed as Pacheco and Nacua. There's each side respectively. And that's all the players. I guess while we wait, we could take a quick look at the waiver wire here, see if there's any significant names out there.
And while you do that, I'll beer spotty here at the Dashy. Thanks for shutting up the bandwagon Michigan fans a couple of weeks ago. Of course, he's referring to my Longhorns beating the Wolverines a couple of weeks ago. Now I need you to do me another solid beat the Ravens in your house this week. It's going to be a rough one, Dashy. I mean, I know you don't like those Ravens because they're in the same division as your Bengals, but well, we're going to be doing all right. So we're going to try our best here.
And both the Bengals and the Ravens are both 0-2.
Yeah, they're both 0-2. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get to our game picks pretty soon.
Yeah. So look at some names that are available on here. Yeah, quarterback in our league. Jared Goff is still hanging around. Kirk Cousins is still hanging around. But not necessarily in our league, but this could be a big game added into waivers this week for a lot of games. Maybe Justin Fields. He might be waiver wire target for a lot of leagues. Let's see. Let's look at in running backs and
sorry,
see.
guys. Something came up. Be right back.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Some intriguing names that could potentially be added. Well, no, not Chase Brown. Adam dropped him. Let's see. Possibly Blake Corum. He could be a waiver wire target in some leagues here. Alexander Madison might be worth adding if Zamir White doesn't step up. Probably in our league, the biggest surprise is probably still on the board here is Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was the only one that put Rashid Shaheed in my top 50 wide receiver list. Yeah, when we did the wide receiver rankings a few weeks ago. So, I'm considering making I was considering making it for him, but I'm pulling back right now because I'm pretty stacked at the position already. So I mean, is Rashid Shaheed still available in our league? I don't think so. No,
he is. He's available in our league. I'm looking at our league.
Yeah.
I'm just comparing names of possible I'm looking at targets too along the way, like Demarcus Robinson. He might be.
Yeah, Demarcus Robinson had a couple of big catches for the Rams last week. He's definitely one you need to pick up.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, Jordan Addison is still available in our league. I think somebody dropped him in our league though. Dino.
Yeah.
Looking through here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't Dino. It was Casey. Casey dropped him. Jameson Williams is still available. He's 82% owned now.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to check Shaheed and see what his percentage owned is. 53.2% owned. He gained a 21.2% since the last time since draft, I guess. He's picked up a lot of traction. Yeah, Mike Williams is still there, but he's been dropped recently. Don't really see anybody too significant here as far as wide receivers go. I'm going to check the tight end slot.
I think Jake Ferguson is still available.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew had him, but Andrew dropped him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't need to do that. All he could have done was come off the bench and drop someone else.
Yeah.
As far as potential targets go, the only one really on here is maybe Isaiah Likely. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? Isaiah Likely's got more of the traction as the tight end over Mark Andrews.
Mm-hmm. And Henry could possibly be a waiver claim for some leagues, but I wouldn't let that one game get me excited though. Yeah, nobody really that significant here. If I was to consider adding anybody right now, it would probably just be Rashid Shaheed, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm stacked at wide receiver right now. Although I would consider dropping Jerry Jeudy or what's his face, Christian Kirk. I may consider dropping them, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. But
Yeah, how about
All right,
I got
looking for like potential waiver wires, people who are still left in our.
yeah. So, I think I put the pick slide in the stream before I left work. So
yeah.
All right, I guess Tim, you can give it a shot.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. If you're having trouble with it, then we can go to the trivia questions for now. If you're having trouble with it.
Yeah, I'm still having a little trouble here. Let's see here. I think he said he did put it in here. Let's see here. I believe this is the one. Still coming in. Okay, now I got this on my from my web browser on my Xbox, so it should not be having this issue here. Here, let me take that out. I'm gonna try that again.
Okay, it looks like Flynn just entered his home, so.
Yeah, home sweet home for Flynn here. Let's see, we got that. Oh, the wonders of technology. You gotta love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't think we can get it up here on my end, so I guess we can go ahead and answer the Tim's questions.
That's fine. You want to do yours first, or you want to do mine?
Yeah, all right, we'll do mine first. So, my question was, considering a home winning streaks, Cowboys had their 16-game home winning streak snapped. The question, of course, was, which team holds the NFL record for the longest home winning streak?
Yeah, a couple of teams came to my mind. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's a team in the AFC. So, with that being said, due to their recent success, my guess is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. Flynn, you got a guess?
Yeah, I was thinking the Packers because Lambeau Field having to play up there, and the Packers have had a lot of success there in recent years.
Interesting.
So Natale goes with the Chiefs, and Flynn is going with the Packers. Natale, I will tell you right now, the Chiefs are actually tied for 26th place with a 13-game win streak, which ran from 2002 to 2003. 13
No,
game
that was
win
way off. Ouch, that was way off.
What were you saying? What were you saying about that?
I was way off.
Oh, you're way off.
Yeah,
man. For a minute there, I thought you said playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
And Flynn, my friend, oh my God, Flynn, you were so close. You were so close. Yes. The Green Bay Packers are actually number 2. They're number 2. They had a 25-game win streak, which ran from 1995 to 1998. With, of course, the great Brett Favre on the team. The team that holds the record for the longest win streak at home, they did it from 1971 to 1974. And of course, the kicker is they did not lose a single game in the 72 season. So that would be the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
I was right about
27
something. It was an AFC. I was right about something. It was an AFC team.
It was an AFC team. That streak ran from 1971, 1974, 27 straight home wins in that stretch. So it was the Dolphins.
Ah.
So now to your question, Natale.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mine is focused on this day in NFL history. So we're going to go all the way back to, obviously this is from before all of us were even born, but I think this one is still gettable. September 17th, 1961. It says the Minnesota Vikings play their very first regular season game in the NFL. Minnesota does it in style as they cruise to a 37-13 victory over the Chicago Bears. Who was the quarterback that year? This rookie quarterback, he made his NFL debut count as he tossed an NFL game debut record at the time, 4 touchdown passes. Who was the quarterback at that time?
Whoa.
What Natale said before he started the question was that he thought this question was gettable, so it had to be more of a more of a famous player.
Well, the first name that came to my head was Fran Tarkenton, but he had to have come a few years later after that. So, Natale, for one thing, your screen's frozen. And second thing is, I do not think I can even come up with an answer to that question.
Hold on, this.
And Flynn is switching over to his mainframe. So beyond Tarkenton, I have no guess.
Okay. Could potentially be Tarkenton. Flynn, do you have a guess as well?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fran Tarkenton if you said he was gonna be a gettable player.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you this. Oh, I think that's the first double team. You're both correct. It was in fact Fran Tarkenton.
Oh.
Whoa! It was Tarkenton.
Yep.
Well, how about that?
Yeah. It says here, yep. Once again, September 17th, 1961, Minnesota Vikings play their very first regular season game in the NFL. Minnesota does it in style as they cruise to a 37-13 victory over the Chicago Bears. Rookie quarterback Fran Tarkenton makes his NFL debut count as he tosses an NFL debut game record, 4 touchdown passes. Yeah, he also spent some time with the Giants also from 1967 to 1971, and then he was with the Vikings again, 72 to 78.
Yeah. Very, very, very interesting question right there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I like this website. It's pretty neat. It's called pigskindispatch.com.
Pigskindispatch.com. I will have to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Flynn is on his mainframe right now, so I think he'll be having a better chance of getting our picks up on the screen here better than I can.
Yeah, I think we should be in good shape relatively soon. I'm gonna do but Yeah, it'll take me a couple minutes, but while we're doing that, there's something for you guys to consider.
Okay, George play 01, start 2. DJ Moore, Jalen Waddle, Zay Flowers, Jamison Williams, or Jackson Smith Najigma in a non-PPR league. I still like Flowers.
Yeah. Out of this group, I'm thinking probably Zay Flowers and Jackson Smith Najigba. I'd be a little bit worried right now if I was the Dolphins. So
yeah,
and I'd be worried if I was the Bears.
Right, with DJ Moore here. And Waddle, I'm kind of on the fence with him, even though he is a talented player. I'd probably go with Zay Flowers and Jackson Smith Najigba.
Yeah, Tim and I are on the same wavelength.
Wow. I'd probably do that.
Although Jamison Williams is an interesting sleeper.
You got DJ Moore going up against the Colts, Jalen Waddle going up against Seattle, Zay Flowers against Dallas, Jamison Williams. I would definitely consider Jamison Williams because it's probably going to be a game where both teams are going to score a lot of points. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba against a decimated Miami team. So I would look at Jamison Williams and Jackson Smith and Jigba, actually.
Interesting. Yeah. So those are our opinions. George, thank you very much for your question. Thanks for watching. Spread the word around about our show. And while we wait to get our NFL picks for week 3 up, I do want to remind you for tomorrow evening and every Wednesday night, Pain and Game Pick'ems with A Pizzle 90, LC Muscles 28, and yours truly, Tiny Tim. That's what they call me over there. Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, only on the A Pizzle 90 channel. That's API00E90. Check it out.
And I believe he'll be broadcasting from Cincinnati.
Yes, I think he made a trip over there. I think he's let's see here.
Yeah, it's because he had to have been at the Braves Reds game tonight, and the Braves had an early lead and they blew it, and now they're 2 games behind my Mets for the last playoff spot of the National League.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I think we have the picks ready to go.
Yes, we do.
All right, here we are, folks. So let's take a look back at week 2 and how we did. I went 9-7 last week. Natale went even 8-8, and Flynn went 7-9. Meanwhile, against the spread, I went 8-8.
I'll be right back.
Meanwhile, Natale and Flynn both went 7-9. So far after 2 weeks, myself and Natale are tied with the overall straight up picks 21-11, while Flynn is at 18-14. Meanwhile, Flynn and I are tied for the season against the spread with a 15-16-1, and Natale is leading us right now with his record against the spread so far 17-14-1. So, as we take a look at our picks here, we start, of course, with the Thursday night game. We have the Jets are at home against the Patriots. The Jets are picked by 6.5. Myself and Natale, we have the Jets winning and covering. Meanwhile, Flynn is actually taking the Jets with the win, but he's actually taking the Patriots with the points.
Yeah, that's possible.
Very interesting right there. Meanwhile, we have the Cleveland Browns are at home against the New York Jets, and the Cleveland is picked by a 6 right now. Natalia and I are taking the Browns with the win. Giants with the points. Meanwhile, Flynn is taking the Browns to win and cover on that one. The Bears are heading into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. This is almost a pick 'em right here with Indianapolis only picked by 1. I got the Colts winning and covering very well. Wow. Ooh. Natalia and Flynn, they're actually picking the Bears on this one. Like I said,
I think they're long overdue. Yeah, they're long overdue here. It's time for Caleb Williams to have a fantastic game, and I think this is the day he does it.
Yeah, and I think DeForest Buckner's injury is going to be a big deal in this game because you need someone to start to get after the quarterback, and he's their best guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so like I said, that was pretty much a toss up with a 1-point favorite for Indianapolis. Anyway, Houston is going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. I'm actually taking the Vikings 26-21. Meanwhile, Natalie and Flynn are taking the Texans to win and cover on that one.
Yeah, I can't pick against Houston because the Texans, if anything, prove that they can win any style of fight.
Yeah. Okay. We have the Eagles going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Saints are 3-point favorites. I am taking New Orleans to win, but I'm actually taking the Eagles to cover that spread. So I think Flynn is as well. Flynn is taking the Eagles to win and cover. And Natale is going with the Saints there.
Yeah, I have exactly 3, so that means I got to make a decision on something. Do I take the Saints to cover, or do I take the Saints to win and cover, or the Eagles to cover? And I'm going to take the Eagles to cover.
So it'll be one of 3 games where we're both unanimous against the spread. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Saints win, but Eagles cover the points.
All right.
That way, I have a backup in case the Eagles win. I want to have a backup just in case.
Okay. Meanwhile, we'll talk about the Chargers going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Pittsburgh is picked by 2 right now. Flynn and I are taking the Chargers to win and cover on that one. Meanwhile, Natalia is going with the hometown Steelers to win this one.
Yeah, I got to ride with that defense, especially at home.
But I think that the thing is, I think the Chargers show that they're one of the most physical football teams, and this was the classic type of game that the physicalities would prove too much.
Interesting there. Oh, we got Tampa Bay is at home against the Broncos. Tampa Bay is picked by 7. I'm taking the Bengals to win convincingly over the Broncos. And not only am I taking the Buccaneers to win, the Buccaneers are my lock of the week. Meanwhile, Natale is actually taking the Bucs with the win, but he's actually got the Broncos covering.
Yeah, for some reason, this game feels weird to me. I'm not sold on the Bucs just yet. I mean, despite me picking them to win,
but I think
they're going to get exposed eventually.
See, but I think the problem with this game is that outside of Patrick Surtain, who can play defense for the Denver Broncos?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem here, and yeah, and also because and also the Bucks over the Broncos is also
Nice.
Yeah, I listed a different one. We'll get into that later.
Okay. We'll get into this one right now. The Packers are heading to Nashville to take on the Titans. Titans are picked by 3 at home. Flynn and I are taking the Packers to win and cover on this one. Meanwhile, Natale is going with the Titans to upset the Packers.
the Titans are 3-point favorites. So
Yeah, this one was a gut feeling. This one was like my normally I don't do these, but that's like my coin flip game essentially.
So you thought that was the toughest game of the week to pick for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I picked the Packers because the storyline for this game is Malik Willis against the team that traded him a couple of weeks ago, and and maybe the Malik Willis revenge game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, think about that one there. So
there's one. This next game, there is one thing Tim and I have in common, but that will pop up momentarily.
yeah, the Panthers are in Las Vegas, Carolina, and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is picked by 5.5 on this one, but I think we all agreed that this was basically our garbage game of the week. And for this one, looks like we are all unanimous in taking the Raiders over the Panthers, although Natale has the Panthers covering on this one.
Yeah, I think this has low scoring written all over it.
Yeah, I think I see that too. Okay, so next we go to Seattle, where the Seahawks will be at home against the Dolphins. Seahawks picked by 4.5, and we are all in agreement that the Seahawks will beat the Dolphins with the problems with Tua Tagovailoa. So they're going to start Skylar Thompson, and it looks like Seattle's going to take that one. We are also all in agreement with the Lions heading toward Arizona to take on the Cardinals, where the Lions are 3-point favorites. And as you can see, we all pick the Lions on that one.
I mean, it's crazy that I hyped up the Cardinals so much. I picked them to make the playoffs. Yeah, I still have not picked the Cardinals to win yet.
Didn't you pick them last week when they played the Rams?
No, I took the Rams because I thought McVay and Stafford were going to pull it out of the hat on that one. So so that's one of the ones that I mean. In hindsight, if I figured out that the Rams' offensive line also had problems, I would have taken the Cardinals. But it is what it is, and that's
right.
And that's I don't have to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
With that negative mark toward my my records this year.
Then we have the Baltimore Ravens. They'll be flying into AT&T Stadium to take on my Cowboys. Baltimore is picked by 1.5. Flynn and I, we have the Cowboys winning and covering. I'm seeing a good bit of field goals from Brandon Aubrey. Meanwhile, Natale actually has the Ravens winning and covering.
Yeah, I just cannot envision this team starting 0-3. These guys were my pick to win the Super Bowl, after all.
Yeah, you did mention that earlier during the summer. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this team does not scream 0-3 to me.
The 49ers are heading into Los Angeles to take on the Rams, where the Niners come in picked by 7.5. We are all in agreement that the 49ers will win.
Yeah.
However, Flynn just barely has the Rams, taking the Rams with the points.
Yeah, I think the thing with this game is that it is that I can't trust Brock Purdy without McCaffrey and Deebo. I think that's why I think it's going to be a closer game than 7.5. And plus, it's a division game. I can't envision this game being decided by more than a touchdown. So
Yeah. And with Freeman, the Rams being down 2 receivers, this game is my lock of the week.
oh.
Let me hit that. Interesting there.
49ers have problems too, but I think the Rams' problems are worse.
Oh, yeah, I would probably agree with that. Anyway, we have the Atlanta Falcons are at home. They're going to be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs picked about 3.5. And we all have the Chiefs winning this one. Flynn actually has the Falcons covering on this one. Just barely.
Yeah, and the exact same thing applies with the Bills-Jaguars game. Where we all have the favorite winning, but only me grabbing the points.
Interesting there. Buffalo picked 5.5 at home against the Jaguars there. That's the Sunday night. The Sunday night game is Kansas City and Atlanta.
Yes, so they're doing an ESPN ABC doubleheader with the Jags Bills on ESPN and Bengals Commanders on ESPN on ABC.
Yes. The Bengals are at home, 7.5-point favorites against the Commanders. We're all taking the Bengals. The tally has the Bengals with the win, with the Commanders with the points.
Yeah, I just felt that it was a little high, so we'll see what happens.
All right. And what is this? Dashy. The red rifle? The red rifle from TCU? Andy Dalton, the former Bengal, the former Cowboy, now starting with the pack for the Panthers. Guys, I think we should, since Flynn and I kind of agree that the Panthers will be, most likely be going 0-17 for this season. I think we should have a moment of silence for the Carolina Panthers. Okay, that's good enough. So, so I guess because that's all they're going to get, because that's all they're worth. There's only one moment, like 1 second right there. So that's basically our picks right there for this week. So it's going to be a very interesting week. So and I guess with that, with all these technicalities, all these delays and all that, I think we got through a pretty good show, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we've given you guys some tips on your waiver wires and all that. Hey, it's still early, so get on the waiver wires as soon as possible. Make the necessary adjustments that you need to help your team win this week. So I guess before we go, we have to always mention Hooked on Sports twice a week, wherever you find your podcasts. Look up John Flynn and Hooked on Sports. So he's got, of course, his NFL show, but his other show for the week, playoff races in Major League Baseball are heating up.
Yeah, we mentioned because Putnam was in Cincinnati for presumably for the Braves and the Bengals. For the Braves and the Cincinnati Reds, and the Braves are now 2 back of the Mets with 11 games to play for each team. And then the Diamondbacks lost to Colorado, so the Mets and Diamondbacks are now tied for the second wild card. I did sprinkle in a little WNBA. Caitlin Clark set the single season WNBA does rookie single season scoring record, 761 points.
I only got 4 words in response to that. Rookie of the Year. No doubt.
And in college football, I think I discussed Georgia barely beating Louisville. Texas clearly being the leader in the clubhouse in the AP poll right now.
Yeah, my boys are doing it.
Did you see how the highlight reel Arch Manning put together when he came in for Quinn Ewers?
I've not seen it, but I know there's a highlight reel somewhere on YouTube. I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, imagine if Peyton and Eli had running abilities.
Oh, we got a last minute question here. Hector Gonzalez. Should I drop Alan Lazard for Christian Kirk or Deontay Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah, but between the two, if I had to pick one right now, probably Deontay Johnson. Right now, Christian Kirk is looking to be the number 3 receiver on the team.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward Deontay Johnson myself.
Yeah, I have Christian Kirk on my bench as of right now, and he hasn't done anything. I'm close to. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient, but I'm leaning towards dropping him pretty soon if he doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, Hector, thank you for your question. Thanks for watching and spread the word around us. Don't forget about Hooked on Sports with John Flynn. Don't forget Pain and Game Pick'ems tomorrow on A Pizzle 90 channel.
Live from Cincinnati.
Well, Alex will be live from Cincinnati. Meanwhile, Lucas and myself will be at our own comfort zones where I love my comfort zone. I really do. So, so y'all check that out. And we hope to check you out. Oh, one thing. Well, thank you, Hector.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question.
No problem, bud. Yeah, thanks for that. And of course, we hope to see all you guys next week, 1 week from now. So I guess that's going to put a wrap on this show. Thanks, guys, for a great show. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Mr. John Flynn and Mr. John Natale, my name is Tim McClelland. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the games, everybody. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.